Welcome to part 18 of my series about the granular processor CrusherX. I had started to work on the tutorial about how to extract sounds from complex sources and import them in sample players using CrusherX when the new version 7 arrived. And of course, I want to tell you what's new and what is it all about, this version 7. Well, the granular extractions are going to be part 19 then. Well, version 7. The user interface has got a bit of, well, let's say a facelift. The colors are a bit different and the sliders move very smoothly now, as it seems to me, and it's better recognizable where the pointers are pointing at, and the wheels have got a different look as well, and so has the lobster, by the way. Have I told you that the user interface is optimized for touchscreen devices? No? Well, now I have. And because of a better handling with touch screens, the number of active generators can be adjusted using a big futuristic-looking wheel. I simply love it. But there are also more fundamental improvements than mere optics. You have already discovered some of them, I think. There are 13 new modulation parameters, as it seems, and their sliders occupy a prominent place in the user interface, directly below the vapor modulation monitors. With names like Spice and Insane, Grunge and Collapse, they give us a good chance to guess what they are intending to do, but not how they do their work. Let's have a closer look at them. In opposite to 13 vapor modulation monitors above, the 13 new parameters, they are called ADOR parameters, are represented by adjustable wheels. And the amount of each of them is depicted by a growing or diminishing structure, reminding me of liana in the jungle or an exotic tree. Again, I love it. Well, these parameters are not really new, actually. They're certain combinations of our good old vapor parameters. Please watch the sliders in the upper third of the user interface move when I increase one of these ADOR parameters. But please take care. Once moved, you cannot return to the previous settings again, at least not completely. Turning an ADOR parameter up and then completely down again leaves an offset at the underlying vapor parameters, which wasn't there before touching the ADOR parameter at all. This doesn't concern the parameters Atomize, Detune, Insane and Shunt. These ADOR parameters allow their vapor relatives to return home again. I've got a better version of CrusherX, version 7, so maybe this kind of strange behavior will be different with the version you have bought. On the other hand, once knowing which vapor parameters are the parents of a certain ADOR parameter, it shouldn't be a big problem to reset them manually, and increasing an ADOR parameter and decreasing it again with an offset of the concerned vapor parameters left is quite often a good starting point for further tweakings and modulating the resulting sound. Each of the ADOR parameters deserves being looked at in depth and will be in later videos, but this is an overview about the changes version 7 brings. Let me talk about the next new feature, therefore. One of the most spectacular improvements we find in version 7 is the formant filter. Choosing this new type of filter in the filter mode window changes the scales of the filter vapor modulation to a scale of vowels. The filter Q algorithm changes invisibly but remarkably to emphasize the chosen vowel. Let me demonstrate only shortly what is possible with this new filter type. The two soprano voices are generated by sending a saw wave through the filter, whereas the bass voice is made of a string sound, which I process through this formant filter. The filter's offset is automated, with the individual steps being adjusted to the values of the individual vowels. The video doesn't show the bass voice automation. I don't want to distract your attention from the main points. All right. The MIDI control mappings now. Here, a non-linear mode has been added. We can draw a spline curve to convert the linear movement of a slider, a knob, or a wheel of our MIDI controller into a non-linear modulation of the connected parameter. Let me demonstrate it with the speed parameter. Please notice the movement of the modulation wheel changing into a complex movement of the slider on the screen, the user interface. And even the DCO has got an additional functionality. There are 7 wave shapes available now. We can switch between each of them by clicking on the little button below the frequency slider. But please notice that the symbol on this button doesn't show the chosen wave shape. It shows always a sine wave. The wave shapes are sine, then saw, then triangle, then rectangle, then random, then spline, and at least noise, and back to sine, each click. Well, so far my short overview about what's new in version 7. Please visit my comprehensive website www.rofilm-media.net to learn more about CrusherX and about synths and VSTs and sound designs in general. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day, Rolf.